Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 1. Last time we finished up pretty much everything save for the final boss in the final dungeon. This time we are back here in the Kukai Foundation. Just so you know where I am, the Iron Man bar, get over there. I kind of already showed this off earlier. So yeah, we're set up to take on the optional boss that we already kind of showed off very briefly. And just so you kind of know where I'm coming at here, my strategy going in, she has items because why not? She set up a counter. This one's actually kind of important. Status effects ×2. She's also the only one who doesn't have all guard for this fight, and this will be made apparent later. And you have a scope because my skill slots are much more valuable than my equip slots at this stage in the game. That's going to be my party. Not necessarily the best party. As far as pure output of damage goes, you probably want to bring Junior as opposed to KOS-MOS, but there's a specific reason why I'm bringing KOS-MOS. As far as text, you want to go with Lunar Seal instead of Arctic Blast for the first time in quite some time. Speed plus 25, all guard, which is exactly what you would expect it to be. Let's see if I can find it here. There it is. It's the same effect that we got from equipping the shield armor. And W special is a double cluster. And just so you see what everyone else has, she's got AP plus 1 and yeah, all guard. So that's pretty much my setup. So let's go in and say hello. Since we've already kind of shown this off briefly earlier, I didn't feel the need to go and do all the conditions to get this, which basically just pressing that one lever down below to extend the awning so that you can get over here, but I already showed that off earlier, so. And no dialogue, we just get, or well, no voice dialogue rather. She just kind of looks at you, says good, brings out a staff or a wand or something like that, and asks you to fight. The very strange doll-like thing.
This is no ordinary force. Everyone, be careful.
Yes, if you remember from earlier, we cannot use our mechs in this fight, which doesn't matter because we have no interest in using them at any point in the game. It's kind of weird. There's two optional bosses in this game, and they gave this one, the one that looks weirder, arguably, the more serious voice actor. The other one, well, we'll see. Anyway. First things first, we want Psycho Pocket on everyone because he's got, or she's got two very valuable things worth stealing. First item, Craft Apron. I've been waiting for that since, you know, the start of the game. Thank you very much for finally giving it to me. And Psycho Pocket here.
Unleash some of thy powers.
Now, if you remember from before, she hates males. And she has poison attack, which is why I have all guard on everyone. The reason why I don't have it on KOS-MOS is because I need to do some things with her. Mainly, I want to use Ether Shift B, because more Ether attack is good. I want to use Ether Limit, which again is good. And because she's slow and I had to take off speed in order to, agility plus 1 in order to get this, I want to be able to cast Speed Boost. So yeah, that's pretty much my strategy. She won't counter boost against females attacking her, so you could bring in all 3 of your females, and if you don't have a lot of damage output, you probably want to do that. But that's entirely up to you. So we're going to focus Ether attack, then I'll use Ether Limit, and then we'll just go to town with KOS-MOS. You can still use Chaos to attack, she's just going to counterattack you. She also has Dexterity down, which I'm not particularly worried about. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't use it on her, but hopefully that's not too big of a problem. I don't want to use a Cure-All because I don't think it would take off any of her extra boosts and stuff, but just in case. Nah, let's just go straight for the damage. You want to use Angel Arrow, and of course Lunar Seal, I kind of already mentioned that. The difference between... Can I hit you with close range attacks? I cannot. Okay, so I'm thinking the other boss where it wasn't all that much difference between Floral Tempest and whatever words and stuff. Whatever. You know what I mean. Somebody does anyway. Not getting a lot of criticals. Don't have the battle mask effect on anyone, save for KOS-MOS for this fight. Alright, next round, I think Chaos... Yeah, that can also hit you to the back row, by the way. So... Speed 50, focus ether attack. So yeah, just need to go for ether limit. And then I should be able to take you down pretty quickly, because KOS-MOS, even though Minisha, or however you pronounce her name, can take reduced damage from, I think, fire, ice, lightning, and beam, all by 50%, if I'm not mistaken, it's still valuable to use KOS-MOS when she's buffed up appropriately, which is why the better two characters, well, the best two, really, to use against her, really, you're going to counter boost that? No, well, are Momo and Junior, because they're non-elemental, or they at least have access to non-elemental attacks. The other one, please don't use this on KOS-MOS. Thank you. Yeah, the other attack that's really annoying is she uses attack disable, and that is irritating. Alright, let's see what we can do. Okay, we're gonna miss. That works. Yeah, she's got 7,777 HP. And as you can see, my strategy involves boosting KOS-MOS to annihilate him. Rather quickly, too. Alright, so you are going to use Medical. What I've done is I have been able to shift that over to everyone, as well as Boost +1, as well as Psycho Pocket. Ether Shift B, I've also managed to move over. The next one I'll be focusing on will be, Ether Limit, obviously. This is valuable in this fight, Supreme Judgment, because she can reduce your HP and heal. Basically, she drains your HP, so this can be valuable in this fight, which is why I put it there, so I'd remember to mention it. But probably not necessary with how fast I'm taking her down, so there is healing. Go with an X-Buster here. Yeah, so there's 4,500 of under 8,000. Bebo, your loyal servant, huh? This is probably her attack that drains. It can also be one that hits all enemies. If it's the one that drains, it will target the character with the highest current HP and drain all but 1 HP of it. So, when I heal, I don't want to be at full HP. I also want to use KOS-MOS to annihilate her because I've stolen both the items and I can just end the fight right now. Now, this is a rather difficult fight if you're not cheesing your way through it like I am. Basically, you're just going to keep on attacking over and over and over again and dealing with all of the damage output that she can do. Now, she does have a lot of damaging attacks. She has her Bebo servant thing, who can deal a reasonable amount of damage to all of your allies. And yeah, she gets different lines of dialogue, and so do all your other characters when they're low on HP or this and that. Certain conditions are met. Anyway, no big deal. But yeah, there's a lot of strategy involved if you're, well, not really strategy, just basically keep healed. But yeah. Anyway, we get Dark Scepter, which is probably the main reason. Yeah, we should use it on Gnosis. Let's take a quick look at what we gathered from this fight here. We got something very, 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 very valuable that we'll probably never use, the Craft Apron, which gives you additional skill points, which is something we still need when we don't really need a lot of tech points or ether points at this stage. But unfortunately, since it takes so long to get, you're basically at the end of the game, not a whole lot of value in that. What was the other one I got? The other one was the Penguin Rod, which I guess is kind of the ultimate rod. It's a lot weaker, but it does do slow, so I guess that's useful. I'm going to keep using the Dragon Rod since more damage is a good thing. Now, last but not least, let's take one last look over here at Momo. She has a new, there it is, Dark Scepter. Turns G-type enemies into items if used to defeat them. Now, I'm going to put some points into this because I'm going to make use of it. Basically, yeah, that's, well, one, I ran out of good skills to work on with her, so you got that at level 10, got that at level 10, so I didn't really need to work on anything else. I said I wasn't going to go above level 10, but Dark Scepter is the other reasoning for doing that. And there's a bunch of items you can get using Dark Scepter. It's near and it hits, so it's not great as far as the damage goes, but it does what we want it to do. It turns enemies into items. Now, those items are, for the most part, just designed to be sold. However, there is actually one character's ultimate weapon you can only get through that method, which is kind of odd. But anyway, that's pretty much all for Minutia, so now I am going to get my other party going. I'm just going to use the other 3 characters, because why not? And we're going to go take on the other optional boss. If I can get out the door. There it is. And we're back. Now, if you kind of recognize the area, this is the residential district on the, or residential area rather, on the Durandal. This is the one with the shop in it, so if you head into the residential area, head up, take the first left, head up again, go right, and take the door there. This should be that one, at least if I'm remembering things correctly. Nothing much as far as strategy for this. I would recommend giving Junior the counterattack stuff. Ziggy has critical stuff, and you have Angel Ring for later and Scope, because I want to have Scope. Everyone has the same skill set, and yeah, so they'll have those. And as far as techs go, we want to use Mystic Nocturne, we want to use Hellfire, and surprisingly, for the first time in a long time, we want to use Shockblade. And for Shockblade, I can't remember if I actually set this up ahead of time. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so I want to do physical attack down if possible. I'm not sure how much his resistance is because I haven't checked in a while, but it's more useful than pretty much any of her other abilities she can make use of in this fight, which is why Junior has his good weapon, his final weapon, instead of the one that can deal those kind of effects. Now, if you have Junior as your lead character, when you come here, you will have a chance to summon Great Joe. And yes, this is a direct reference back to Xenogears with Big Joe, and he's pretty much just as stupid. He looks kind of ridiculous and a little bit too. Anyway, bring it on! Now, I was mentioning ahead of time that it was kind of interesting, the voice actress, and well, just you wait. You are going to laugh your ass off. Everyone's going to go with Speed Boost. We don't need to steal because he only has one item. I will be quiet and let you listen to this guy's voice, which he uses pretty much anytime he does anything. Or not. Well, that's annoying. Anyway, let's go for more speed boost, because that's going to be the way we're going to start this fight off. Not that it lasts nearly long enough, but... Alright, and one more for you.
Ready.
Or you could just use the same attack again. Come on! Use something funny! Anyway, there's multiple stages to this fight, and it is rather interesting, so let's see how this goes. That already sounds kind of odd, doesn't it? And we're going to go with Mystic Nocturne here. Again, the same party's actually best for this fight as with Minutia, or however you pronounce that, which is Junior, Momo, and KOS, like I said earlier. But this is one of the few later boss fights where Ziggy actually has some kind of useful text to use in a boss fight. He's decent against some of the normal enemies, but against a lot of bosses, he's just not very effective. pretty much keeping up reasonably well with everybody else. Of course, it would be nice if any of my guys would critical. Well, you are going to go straight for the same thing. I don't think he may not be susceptible to it, which is why I haven't been able to get this going with Shockblade.
Soul Crusher!
Oh, that voice acting is hilarious. I don't know if they did this specifically because he was a goof character in Xenogears or what they decided to do, but oh my god, is this hilarious. Anyway, this fight we don't really need to keep our... oh, what is it? Let's go for Psycho Arm here so you can do a little more damage. Yeah. It's just kind of weird how they do it with the voice actor like that. I'm not sure if it was designed in that way, but it probably was. I would guess anyway. You want to go for Psycho Arm as well. Might have actually been better to use Ether Shift on Junior. I know I haven't really used a lot of buffs. I didn't give it to you, did I? No, I didn't. I just gave you that one, which I don't really need to use, but you have 2 levels, so let's go do that. Yeah, this guy's a little bit, I wouldn't say harder, but you, at least when you're not using KOS-MOS, you can't cheese your way through the fight quite as easily. Speaking of which, he is takes 50% less damage from both lightning and beam, so same kind of an idea here, which is why, unless you're boosting up KOS-MOS quite a bit, you don't really want to use her beam attacks. There we go. Anyway, once you get him down to a reasonable amount of HP, he will boost up, and he will want to do something. I don't think Ziggy will bring him down too far. Hopefully we don't skip out this stage altogether. Because he does have a... well, probably will if he starts to critical like that. But he does have a number of stages. At one point, if he doesn't do it here, I will mention exactly what he does. The duel is over, yeah. He will set up a duel with Junior at one point in the fight, and if he does that, what he'll do is he'll only target Junior, and you're only supposed to hit him with Junior, otherwise he'll counter boost and hit you with Gambler. And now he just cast like a potential reverse on himself. Can I? No, I can't cast that. Do I have the Ether spell still? Probably not. No, I don't. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so he's at healing mode. Now, unfortunately, he'll do this at other points in the fight where he'll say he's preparing an attack or proposing an attack or something to that effect, and he will boost himself up with buffs like that. I don't have it on you either. I will just throw out Misty there just in case. Basically, I could use like items on him or stuff like that, but yeah, this is probably gonna kill somebody. Because once he boosts up, if it criticals, it'll do like 700 damage. And ow! Let's medic all. Thank you very much.
Open ether circuit.
There we go. And you do have life shot, so let's throw that on you. Do a little bit of damage. Probably should have checked to see how much HP he had. Critical. And with Ziggy, that's not half bad. You don't have that, do you? Oh, I do have life shot with you. Yeah, might as well go straight for the death now. That works. And I got times 10 for that fight. Of course I did. Why not? Sweet. Let's see how many points we get for a times 10. Yeah, 600. Holy shit. That's a lot of points. I will take those. Those are very much appreciated. And for defeating him, we get the third and final swimsuit. So now everyone can wear swimsuits. Joy. Well, not everyone, unfortunately. We still can't get one for KOS-MOS or Ziggy, which means they don't get any extra points unless I extract the skill, which means I need to get to level 5, which ain't gonna happen anytime soon. Anyway, you're worthy of calling a friend. Take this as a token of our friendship. We learn Tech Attack, Soul Rhapsody, and Ether Magnum Joe. Yeah, that's pretty much a guaranteed drop, I believe. Now, I want to take a look at the Tech Attack. There we go. So, Soul Rhapsody, a gun that absorbs G-types. What this does is if you kill the enemy with this, what it'll do is it'll boost up Magnum Joe, the ether attack that we got for him. We use ether points. There it is, Magnum Joe. And you can evolve into Buster Joe, which hits all enemies. Magnum Joe just hits one enemy. Buster Joe hits all enemies. Basically, they both get boosted up as you're using Soul Rhapsody to take down enemies. I don't really care for this myself, mainly because you get it so late that it's really just not worthwhile doing anything with. But anyway, there is one other thing I'd like to do, and I need to reset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a save file with 10 times points, because that's a lot of points, and then I will go back to the old save file, come back here, and we'll fight him one more time really quick. Okay, we're back. Now, I do want to show this off really quick here, so let's just spam through his dialogue, and we will enter a combat with him again. Not that it really matters who you decide to show this off against, or if you even want to use it at all, but I would like to show... Let's see here... You don't have boost? Oh, fine. We'll use the item, that works too. Booster pack on Shion.
Take this!
Ether! Erde Kaiser. Now, this is with the Angel's Ring on. It's the only way I can use it at this stage in the game, because I only have 56 EP. It costs 60 by default. Ultimate slash attack using combined form. This is the only time we're going to see this, because there's no reason to show it off or use it at all. But we might as well. And I could make the Power Rangers reference again, but I already did that in Xenogears. If you were interested, go watch that one when we fight the elements. Yeah, I think it was Anima Relic Dungeon 1? I might even name the episode that, who knows. But yeah, we have another long transformation sequence in this game that blatantly rips off Super Sentai, Power Rangers, whatever. And we have a very colorful Gundam. In fact, you want to know something? I have not seen this in a long time. Maybe once or twice ever, and not in the last 2 or 3 playthroughs. Anyway, guaranteed 9,999 damage on all enemies. Instant kill.
Great. I collected some good data.
Yeah, that's why I don't use that in any other fights, because it just kind of makes any fight kind of pointless. So, unfortunately, yeah, there you go. You got to see it, and that's pretty much all the extra stuff we have to do in this game. So, we're going to move on to the final boss next time. I do have a couple of ideas planned for bonus episodes. Less like new content and more just kind of going over things a little bit. I got one more set to go through in the database, which hopefully won't be very long. There is a level 50 tech that Chaos learned, so after beating the boss, I will go back and level grind to get that to show it off. I do want to do a couple of other things, but I don't really want to get into that because I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. Make sure I have access to footage and all these other things. So anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.